Valentine's Day. Love floats in the air and we all await the holiday. But then we remember we need to buy flowers, candy, a Valentine's card, something extra for our partner. And before we know it, we're also buying something for co-workers at the office and helping our little brother cut out a Valentine. But when did all of it get like that? The holiday originally meant something different. It felt more genuine, more about feeling than about fitting into ad-created ideals.
Sometimes, when we don't know just the right words to express our feelings, it's nice to know that flowers can convey so very much.
Whoever said love is blind never saw these beautiful Valentine's Day heart boxes.
Introducing kids cards for Valentine's Day. What's fun to give? Even more fun to get? Scratch and sniff Valentines from McDonald's.
To grasp when everything became like now, we need to travel back a bit. I meant a bit. Perfect. New England. The 19th century. What a delightful era. Industrialization at full power, learning at university, economy growing. Actually, New England at the time, quite a paradoxical region. On one hand, incredible forward thinking, fighting against bondage, education for women, early feminism. On the other, terribly rigid Puritan morality. In brief, when advancement leaps forward greatly, but joy remains forbidden. But we're not here for that. Let me direct your attention here. Worcester, a lovely location in the region. But we're here for her, Esther Holland, a woman who became one of the very first to put greeting card production in America on a commercial track and greatly popularized the holiday within the country. Once, at 19, a Valentine's card arrived from her father's partner. At that time, it wasn't merely the popular tradition it became later, largely because Valentines then came from England and were too pricey for average folk in America. And then Esther thought we could make Valentines right here at home in America and even make them better. Her brother, a traveling merchant, took a dozen prototypes along in his collection, hoping for $200 in orders. Holland felt thrilled when her brother returned with over $5,000 in orders. Now that may not be huge money, but come on, we're talking the 19th century. Accounting for inflation, roughly $220,000. Pretty good for a card-cutting operation. No wonder young Esther felt delighted by the orders. On the third floor of her home, a production facility emerged. Esther herself created original card designs while her team copied them.
The boy was oh so smitten. But the girl, she was so aloof. But then, a moment of inspiration, and Cadbury's milk tray chocolates. Well, it doesn't always happen this way, but a box of Cadbury's milk tray shows her you are a fellow of excellent taste.
Greeting cards aren't the only thing we connect with the holidays. Of course, what could be more typical than a heart-formed chocolate box? In the mid-19th century, chocolate meant luxury, available only for wealthy people. But the British company Cadbury changed everything. In 1861, Richard Cadbury, the founder's heir, created the very first decorative candy box. He developed the packaging design himself, boxes decorated with cupids, flowers, and naturally, hearts. The brilliance of the idea lay in how beautiful the boxes were. People kept them even after eating the chocolate. Victorian-era women utilized them for keeping letters, ribbons, and other sentimental items. By the end of the 19th century, heart-formed chocolate boxes became the default Valentine's Day gift. Cadbury created not merely a product, they created a ritual.
Oh, would you look at this? Shoebox greetings. A Valentine's Day poem to my husband. Love me sweet, love me tender. Give me roses, not a blender.
No matter what you want to say, Hallmark has a Valentine that says it just right.
Honey, back in a minute.
Now let's travel to the early 20th century and westward on the map. By now, Valentines and chocolate began winning American hearts, but the real revolution lay ahead. Nebraska, Norfolk, Right here in 1907, two brothers founded Norfolk Postcard Company, later becoming Hallmark. While Esther in the 19th century created her cards by hand, Hallmark put it all on an assembly line. They organized factory production, further reduced pricing, and popularized Valentines among Americans. The company founder, Joyce Hall, began by offering greeting cards from a travel trunk, moving from town to town. In 1910, he and his brothers opened a retail location in Kansas City, which became the foundation of the future greeting card empire. By the 1920s, Hallmark became the industry leader. They introduced innovative ideas, gift wrapping paper, envelopes fitting the card dimensions, and naturally, the famous motto. They even produced lovely advertising posters with the text, "When you care enough to send the best." That motto didn't merely offer greeting cards, it created a benchmark for how love ought to be demonstrated.
This Valentine's Day, remember, the shortest distance between two hearts isn't necessarily a straight line. Hallmark, when you care enough to send the very best.
Through volume production and aggressive marketing, Hallmark transformed Valentine's Day from a niche celebration into a nationwide phenomenon. By the mid-20th century, mailing a Valentine became not merely a pleasing act, it became expected behavior. And the final element that formed the modern Valentine's Day, TV and newspapers. In the early 20th century, various periodicals, Ladies' Home Journal, Good Housekeeping, McCall's, gained tremendous popularity. They featured articles on how to celebrate Valentine's Day and what to acquire for it. There were detailed how-to guides, planning a February 14th party, creating a Valentine's by hand, what poetry to write for your beloved, and naturally, what to buy, from handmade gifts to ready-made greeting cards. And next to the articles, advertisements. Denison's paper offered dedicated crepe paper with cupids and hearts for Valentine's Day. Companies literally created demand by demonstrating that the holiday required dedicated materials. This publication didn't merely give advice, they created peer pressure. If you didn't buy flowers, didn't give a greeting card, didn't prepare a romantic dinner, then you were a bad partner. Advertising in newspapers and on radio, and later on television, amplified that message. Companies invested millions in promoting the idea that love gets measured by gifts.
The amount of money that you spend on a present should be in direct proportion to the amount of affection that you have for that person.
By the mid-20th century, the image of ideal Valentine's Day became fully formed. A Hallmark greeting card, a heart-formed chocolate box, a bouquet of red flowers, and a romantic candlelit dinner. All these events created the very Valentine's Day we know today. But it appears to me that the main point of the holiday, to remind people dear to you how greatly they matter. And for that, you don't need $50 chocolate boxes or a greeting card with gold embossing. Perhaps we ought to recall the time when Esther Holland made her first Valentines by hand, not for profit, but for beauty and genuine feeling. Happy holiday to everyone.
Originally, Valentine's Day was set aside as a lovers' festival. Oh, Schroeder, isn't that romantic? A lovers' festival.